Last time, we looked at how to make basic kramuals. This time, we will be looking at a few things you can do with them. Kramuals aren't usually the center focus of tracks, but there are plenty of things you can do to make them more useful and more interesting. Before the tutorial, I want to talk about something I forgot to mention in the last Kramual tutorial, and then we'll jump right into learning Kramual cannons and how to do angled Kramuals. I wanted to start this tutorial out by mentioning something I forgot to mention in the last Kramual tutorial, which is how to get Bosch out of this position in a Kramual sitting on a line. It's very easy. I would reckon it's easier than the other ones I showed in the basic Kramual tutorial. But nonetheless, I forgot to show how to do it, so we're going to do that really quick. I made this Kramual out of red lines, so he will be moving slightly in that direction. And I faced him backwards. I am sending him backwards because it's easier to do to get him out of the Kramual when these two contact points are first. So, or are before, this chunk of him. So instead of passing over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, in however many contact points are in there, you only have to pass through 2 before you get to the ones you want to get to. It's possible to go the other way, but it's just a little easier to do it backwards. And if he was upside down, because you can make Kramuals where he's upside down, it would be easier to send him to the right instead of the left. So what you want to do is, after he's moving, draw an angled line. Hit Control and Alt. And just kind of move it around. And when it stops by itself, you know that the line is affecting him and he survives the frame that you are working on. I'm not finding any luck with this one. I'm going to angle it a bit more. Actually, angling it less might be better. I'm going to angle it like that. There we go. Awesome. So there you go. And it pulls him out. And if it dies afterwards, then that's usually easily fixable. It's that strand. So I'm just going to make another line somewhere in one of these frames just to adjust him ever so slightly that it will survive the next frame. And there we go. I didn't have a system for doing that. Sometimes when I watch people play, it looks like they have a system, but I have no system. So that was just messing around until I found it. And there we go. It's as simple as that. With contact lines and hit test off, it should look a little bit like this. Now we will be talking about Kramual cannons, and they're pretty exciting. I'm going to set it up really quick and then I'll get to it. This is probably the easiest way to do a Kramual cannon. I stop him. He's only going like 15 and then 13 and then bam. In a little Kramual, red lines, I'm going to push him this way. And I'm going to stop him with the blue line. I recently realized if you use a red line and you go up, he dies. Because it pushes the contact point too high, the red line itself. If you go down, he also dies because it just kind of messes up the exact x-axis thing. So use a blue line, makes him survive nice and easy. And we're going to send him in basically, 1 frame, 2 frames. We're going to send him very high. Hopefully we can hit like the top of this arrow. That's my goal. In 1 frame we're going to send him from here to there. Let's see if we can do that. Now, if you do just a normal like thing like this, it won't shoot them up because it'll affect this contact point first and then this and this. So it doesn't affect all of them at the same time, and that's what you want to do with Kramual cannons. So what we do is we hit this line right here, and then he moves backwards for right there. He moves backwards. And we can use that if we draw an angled line like this. If we go like this, for this frame, he's okay, this frame, and then boom, he's up. And we want to try to hit all of the contact points at the same time, see if we can get all of them up. That doesn't work. Let's see if we can find a good angle. Oh, that's better. Okay. So more horizontal is good, I guess, but keep it angled so it will affect him only when he starts going backwards. And then we're gonna do X lines, because now they'll all affect him at the same time because the first line brings him all the way up. And then we can just keep doing X lines, and then we can do the Control and Alt and move them around, try to find something that survives. All about patience, these little things. And usually you can do tiny little lines down here that will actually help as well. Just kind of look around, see if you can find something. It does take a while to get the first ones, at least. So we'll start over. We'll get a nice little X line. I'm actually going to jump into the iteration cycle in just a second to see if I can fix it like that, and I'll try to explain what I'm doing while I'm doing it. It isn't that hard, and if you want more information about it, you can go to our LineWriter tutorials subreddit, which will be linked in the description, and I have a post about all of that there. Or Anton, I linked Anton's really good post about it. So I'm going to do that really quick. I'm going to go back a frame and hit Shift, and then hit the arrow key to the right. So there's the first one. He doesn't go up from the first one. We want to have him go up. If we can. There we go. Pushed him all the way up to this part. Okay, that one's staying there, I think. 2, 3, 4, 5, and there we go. Okay, I'll try to explain what I did there. Every frame in LineWriter has 6 parts. It basically checks if he's being hit by lines 6 times in a row. And what I just did is holding Shift and hitting the arrow keys shows each of those 6 times. So the first one, and in the iterations it'll look very strange, like he wouldn't be able to survive this probably if it were the last iteration, the 6th one, so he would probably be dead if it weren't for him being in the first iteration instead of the 6th. The next one brings him up a little more. We'll keep using iterations. I'll see if I can show you. So the second one can pull him about this far completely. And the third one will be able to pull him a little bit farther. So we'll do another third one. There we go. Let's make him survive. Oh, that's not quite what we want, but it's close. Still not quite what we want. We might not be able to get it in a Kramual this time, actually. Maybe we can move one down. Oh, there it was. Right there. And that's actually the second iteration. Oh, we did that way better that time on accident. The first iteration sends him way to there. Okay. And the second one takes him to there. We might be able to do that one further, actually. Yeah. The third one, we will We might be able to surpass the green arrow by a lot. Let's see. The third one can go to about here. Oh, yeah, that's about it. Fourth one can go, let's see. Oh, that's pretty good. This might be too strong, and we might have to like take him back down after the sixth one is revealed. Let's see. But he'll be going really fast when he leaves this Kramual cannon. Okay, that's probably good. And the sixth one, oh man, he actually lives with only dark blue dots, and that's really good. I'm going to quickly delete the unused lines just because it makes it look a little bit prettier. Oh no. There we go. That's very strong. It does 83 right off the bat. That's a really good one. Oh right, I forgot to mention that the sixth iteration can do something too. We have a third one, 4, 5, and he doesn't do anything on the sixth one. So let's try to do that. Let's mess with his iteration on the sixth one. Oh my gosh, and it survives. Look at that. That's the way easier way to do it. It's just like that. And he lives, and he's going 90 now because we've messed with the top one. We could even take it higher. Might not survive as easily though. Let's just delete those. Yeah, look at that. And that is probably the simplest way to do a Kramual cannon. I'll show you guys what it looks like without the stuff on him. Not too exciting until you realize how high he actually goes. He's sent way up there, like really, really fast. That's really good. That's a good Kramual cannon. I only thought I was going to get about half that. So that's how much he moves in one frame, and then he keeps moving that much until he slows down by gravity. And that's the easiest way to get him out of it, is just hope he gets out of it. Because he can just be knocked right out of the Kramual state, and that's really nice sometimes. But I'm gonna show you guys, if you can't for some reason find a line that is that clean, I'll see if I can show you guys how to take him out of a Kramual that is almost that clean. Like here, you got dark blue dots. Let's see if I can do a Kramual out of that. So yeah, he's dead, he's alive, and then he's dead. But let's try to push him back into a Kramual. See if he can survive. But there we go. It's just as easy as that. It mostly just comes down to patience. And then he is only going 85 when he leaves that one instead of 90 or 87. But it really doesn't slow him down that much, and you get to keep him in a Kramual, and then you can do a bunch of Kramual stuff if you want. And there you have it. That's the first way to do a Kramual cannon. I'll show you guys one more. Oh, actually, before I show you the other way, you could also turn all of this horizontally, or sideways. So you can have the same scenario, but if Bosch is flying like this direction, just say you made a Kramual that looks like this, and he slides up, and you can put a line right there, and do a slanted line like this, and then do your Kramual cannon horizontally like this, and he can slide up and then shoot out that direction. So you can do them both ways, but I chose to do it this way because it's slightly easier to set up. It's not really easier to do, it's just easier to set up for the tutorial purpose. Yeah, and there's the first Kramual cannon. Looks like this. I think I'm just going to demonstrate the next type of Kramual cannon in the same little thing I have going here. Let's see. The second one is for, it can be if he's not in a Kramual already, but it helps to have him in a Kramual. The alternative to this method of making a Kramual cannon is just putting him in the Kramual, the line or the frame that you want him to use the Kramual cannon. And it's not that hard, it's just a different way of doing it. So now, the other way you can do it, or another way of doing it, is switching his directions by putting a line like that. So he hits it, and then in one of these frames over here, all of his points, all of his contact points will be going down. And that's the frame that he will fly up from this Kramual cannon. It's probably that frame right there, but we'll see. Yeah, you can just start putting a bunch of lines like this, the other direction. So when he hits that point of all of his contact points being the opposite direction, he'll actually be pulled through the line. And if you do it right, he can be pulled straight back into a Kramual like that. Look at that. That's the tiniest little Kramual cannon you'll ever see. Look at that. Bink. We'll make it a lot stronger, but that's kind of how you do it. And then if you want to make it stronger, let's go back into the iterations to see how strong we can make it. So the iteration is right there, the first one. I'm going to stop it right there for now and do the second one, which he doesn't survive. There we go. Actually, that pulls him up to the first one. That's the first one right there. So let's do a second one even higher. This is the reason Kramuals are so good for movement is Kramual cannons right here. This is what I was talking about in the beginner Kramual tutorial, where you can stop him instantly and fire him in a different direction and stuff like that. It's very useful for syncing to music. Oops. And I'll put some really good examples of Kramual usage and music syncing and stuff in the description, or maybe I'll post some clips at the end of the video, like I normally do. Okay, and then the last iteration is right here. And there we go. That should slow him down and fire him off again in almost the same speed he started firing off. Look at that. So that's two ways to do Kramual cannons. The first way is, yeah, and this is the pull-through cannon. I don't know what people call it, but that's what it is. Pulls them through real fast, sends them off. Yeah, so that's a small way to do Kramual cannon, and there's the other one down here. I hope that was helpful. I think I did an okay job of explaining what they are. It's kind of up to the person playing to figure out what they can do, because everybody kind of plays the game differently, and that's what makes it kind of a really creative game, is you get to decide how useful things are. Alright, I'll show how it looks with everything. Okay, real quick before we move on to the angled Kramuals, I want to show a fun little thing you can do with Kramual cannons. This is actually not or it can be a Kramual cannon, but it doesn't have to, which is why I'm not labeling it as one. It's just a really fun way to start the track. Fun little, it's like a bonus. I'll make a little splash screen so it'll say bonus. Okay, that was fun. So we're gonna really quick little bonus. Frame one. You can go, frame one right there. Angle it like that. It's very much like the first Kramual cannon I went over. Second frame, boom, you go like that. You're in a Kramual. What? It's crazy. Third frame, you do it again. You just keep doing it. You do a few more. And look at that, you're already in a surviving Kramual state at some of these points. There's one. If we want to go into the iterations, we can see what's happening. So physics iteration 2, boom. It's not completely Kramual-y even. Okay. We don't have to do it iterations, whatever. So you can just kind of make a Kramual cannon from the start. And the reason I say it's not quite a Kramual cannon is because a lot of the times I can't actually get it to survive in exactly a Kramual state, but you can take it even when it's like this and just kind of pull him around until you get him to survive it, like almost like that, and then boom. And I guess you'll have to do something in this frame, like that or something, and you get that's the very beginning of the track, and you have 30 ppf to work with going straight up, which is a harder angle to get. You can do a huge manual this direction. You can do I don't know, fun stuff all around. There's the bonus. Tiny little almost, and you can make him survive in a Kramual. I've done it before, but it's a lot harder, so I'm just gonna quit there. There you go. And this is what it looks like in perfect color. Okay, next I will go over how to do basic angled Kramuals. And what we're gonna do before I start, just explain it really quick, is we're gonna have him fall for a long time. I'll draw a small little diagram. Fall for a long time, and we will put him into a Kramual at some point, probably near 80 ppf. Just, I don't know why that number. Could probably do it way slower and way faster. But we're gonna do it around 80 just because it's a nice number. And then we're gonna put him into a Kramual, and then we're gonna below it keep adding slightly more slanted lines until he is in a vertical Kramual, and then we'll keep adding slightly more slanted lines to end him back in in a completely upside down Kramual. That is the goal for this lesson on angled Kramuals. It's not too difficult, but it will show kind of how to do it, and it'll show how easy it is. Okay, so first we will go like this. We'll go in, we'll make, it's around 80 right now. We're gonna put him into put him into a Kramual. That's a good one right there. Let's do that. This part shouldn't be too hard after seeing the other ones. Hopefully trying some for yourself. That slows them down a lot, but that's okay. Let's do a second one so we can get the easy Kramual to make. And there we go. For some reason I find it easier to skip a frame after the Kramual is made. Like go to this frame instead of this one. And because I find it easier, I'm going to pretend there's a line here by going like that, just to make it look a little nicer. Okay, so here's the first frame of the roll. It'll be right here. It's kind of as easy as it sounds. All you're going to do is draw a slanted line. At least, it has to be completely above. That won't do a Kramual. It has to be above all the contact points. And then we'll grab this thing. We do not have to hold Control and Alt for these. You can, but you don't have to. You just Alt and or Option will find it just like that. And that's it. Like, pick one and move it around. Demonstrate again. So that was about that slanted. We'll try one like that slanted in the next frame. So we're just going to grab one and hold Alt and find one. That was one right there, but I'm going to look for one that doesn't have the yellow line or the orange line. It usually shouldn't take too much more looking. Just a lot of patience. Oh, that was something. Oh, it was a little more slanted. Okay, cool. So now we have two. He is still in the Kramual position. We'll do a third one. Holding Alt. I find after a few of them, it becomes a lot easier. So the first ones are usually the hardest, at least for me. I don't know if that's true for everybody. But for some reason, okay, there we go. For some reason, it becomes easier to spin him after the momentum starts, I guess. So there's 1, 2, 3. That's awesome. This is going pretty well. Alt and Option, we'll slide it around. If it pops out, I don't think I've mentioned this before, but if it pops out like this, then just go back. There's no reason to keep going. And if it starts glitching out like that, then you've gone too far as well. You have to find the middle ground. And that's what you see me passing back and forth. Just when he pops out. This one's a bit harder, and that's okay. I've only been working on it like 20 seconds or 30 seconds or whatever. There we go. Oh, it actually is less slanted than the last one. So let's try to make it a bit more slanted. There we go. I'm going to reiterate this a lot, but it is 100% about patience. Just gotta not give up and you'll eventually find it. Okay, we're going to keep going. Just around, more slanted, less slanted. And there we go. And soon, probably after this one, we'll be able to do the vertical one, the vertical Kramual. Oops. Get it nice and almost vertical. Boom. And there we go. So there we have the first few, and now we're going to switch directions. We're not going to draw lines this way, because it won't affect him because he's traveling slightly that direction. We're going to draw them this way. And we're going to try to do a vertical one. I think we can get a vertical Kramual here. Boom. That was an easy one. That was a nice, clean Kramual. Okay. So we have a vertical one, and if we did another vertical one, or just tried to stabilize this one better, we could probably just have him survive it completely, turn him a 90-degree angle. But we won't do that. We're gonna keep on keeping on, see if we can turn him all the way around. Alt. Boom. I don't know why, but the upside down ones, I usually get a lot faster. The first time I tried to do this little segment, I got the last 3 of them just like perfectly. I didn't need to do any adjusting. I just put the line down and it was there. Close. Maybe more slanted? No, not more slanted. Oh, more down this way. Boom. And we're getting there. Okay. Another one. Alt. Turning it around. Funny enough, sometimes just flailing it around like this actually finds what you're looking for, because it'll stop on the frame that it's alive. So if you get frustrated, just go, ah! I didn't even see us get that. Heck yeah, well, cool. Just flail it around when you get upset and it'll work. Let's try another one. For those of you who have stuck with this whole thing all the way to here, it's the same thing all the way down. I'm sure you could skip to the end and it would be just the same. But I'm glad you've stuck with it all the way. My recorder just stopped recording for a second. I don't know why. But we are back. And we are readjusting the 10th angled Kramual, just to see if we can make the 11th a bit easier. Okay, let's try this one. We got a second one like that. So let's see if that will help make this one easier. I'm going to use red lines. I don't think it'll help or anything, but I just, you know, sometimes little things like this actually do help make them. So we'll see if we can find one. Boom, okay. Red line saves the day. Okay, I feel like we only need 2 more maybe before it's all good. Let's make another one. There we go. And another one. I think we might be able just to throw it into a normal Kramual at this point. Yay! There we go. We got a full we got a full rotation going. Also, let's save it really quick. Oops. That looks nice. Here it is. It's kind of fast. Let's record it really quick, and I'll show you what it looks like. I'll play it again in slow motion just because it looks really nice when you can see what happens. Here it is. So that's it for this tutorial. Thank you for watching. I hope it helped. Make sure to check out the links in the description. They should be pretty helpful. And I will see you guys next time.